Hi, it's Kathy Waite with Weight Endurance. This is a helpful hints video for our new 4-week strength cycle designed to be used by cyclists during race season. This is the first session, and I'm going to go through each of the core movements and the superset to give you some tips on the proper way to do the movements and possibly some help on how to decrease or increase the difficulty of the movements. This is week 1, session 1. All right, we have 4 movements in the core session. It's designed to be done 3 times through if you have time. The first one is called the stability ball cauldron. It's basically a dynamic front plank using an inflatable stability ball. If you don't have one of these, you can sort of do this on the ground or just hold a front plank. But get your forearms on top of the ball, and you're going to stir the witch's cauldron, the witch's brew. So I'm going to make circles 10 times in one direction and then 10 times in the other. This is difficult. To make it easier, you can pull your knees in closer to the ball, and or you can take a break between reversing the directions of the circles. If that is too difficult for you, you can just get on the ground and hold a front plank for like 30 seconds to a minute until you build up your abdominal strength and your shoulder strength. Number 2, you have one of my favorites, a side plank with a parallel leg swing. So I'm going to show you from a couple different angles. You're going to get in a side plank position on your forearm, keep the bottom hip up, and then the top leg gets raised, and then you're going to go forward and back, trying to keep your torso as still as possible. Let me show you from this angle so you can see what I mean. So you're in a side plank, and then leg goes up, and then forward and back. I'm kind of moving from my glute, and I'm keeping my torso very still. If that is too difficult for you, you could just break it down to holding a side plank statically, meaning you're not moving, or just hold a side plank with that upper leg raised, but not moving back and forth. This is definitely an advanced movement. You may not quite be ready for it yet, so modify until you're strong enough to do the advanced version. And you will go both sides. Number 2, a dynamic glute bridge where you have basically some knee raises. This is designed to be done with a band. This is a resistance loop that I purchased online at powersystems.com. You can also find these loops on amazon.com or at like a local sports store. I'll show you what the movement looks like with the band, but you can do it without it. So lie on your back. The bands go around the top and the bottom of your feet, and then you put your feet on the bench or the box or the step or the couch. You're going to go up into a glute bridge and then lift one knee and then the other while keeping your butt up. Whew, I just had a hamstring cramp. You may get that happen too. If you're not quite warmed up, that can happen. So this is a challenging move. Just to keep your glutes up, your hands can be on the ground for support. If you're really strong, you can put your hands off the ground. I tend to need a little help. Let's raise your knee. That's 1, 2, 3, 4. If you don't have a band, just do it without the bands. It's still really good extra hamstring work to just lift your feet off the bench or the chair. Like that. Ooh, that's a good one. And then last but not least, another good challenging movement called the dumbbell standing tap and reach. You can use a dumbbell, a kettlebell, or even something like a filled water bottle or a soup can. All right, here's what it looks like. Stand on one leg. You're going to keep that knee soft. You're going to tap the bell down on the ground and reach up and away. So you may lose your balance sometimes and have to tap your foot down. That's okay. Let's tap and reach. Oh my Lord. Sometimes it's more difficult. Find something to look at on the ground, and that can help. Once you're warmed up and you've gotten better at this movement, you can mix up where you tap the dumbbell. For example, I could tap here and then reach I could tap on the other side and then reach away. I can tap back here and reach. You can mix it up. It's definitely challenging. You can see I'm bobbling it today. It uses a lot of hip strength and even down to ankles and feet. The bonus is getting a little bit of shoulder work, lifting that bell up. So do your best with that. Some days will go better than others. Okay, in our superset, we have 6 movements. We rotate through those 6 movements 3 times, if you have the time available. The movements are a combination of some pushing and pulling, a jump, or you can also call that agility, and some strength work for your lower body. Specifically, we're targeting the posterior chain. That's going to be specifically glutes and hamstrings, but we'll get a little bit of quads in there too. All right, in no particular order, but this is how it's listed in the app. First is a squat jump. A squat jump is just putting your body down in a squat, jump, catch. All right, so we'll do some of these to warm up, just showing you from different angles. You don't have to jump particularly high. It will get your heart rate up and just gets those legs moving. Okay, number 2, it's called kettlebell around the world. This is done best with a heavy kettlebell. If you don't have a heavy kettlebell, you can use a heavy dumbbell. If you have neither, you can do your best to find something around the house, like a backpack filled with heavy things like books or shoes or cans. If that's not a possibility, you may just have to skip this movement. A kettlebell around the world is a movement, looks just like this. Whoop, where you do circles. And the idea is, I'll reverse it because you go 10 in each direction. The idea is to keep your torso as still as possible while moving an implement around your hips. It doesn't look or maybe feel like you're doing tons, but you're stabilizing with your deep abdominal muscles, your obliques, and your back muscles. And you will get a little shoulders too. It's kind of a cool movement. You can get some momentum, 10 in each direction. Okay, a kettlebell deadlift high pull. This can also be done with a dumbbell, 2 or even 2 dumbbells, but I'll do it with a kettlebell today. The bell will go in between my feet. I'll stand over top of the bell. I'm going to keep my butt high in the air. I'll show you from both angles. In more of a Romanian deadlift style, in case you are familiar with deadlifts. And then I'm going to sort of squeeze my hips, or squeeze my glutes, snap my hips, and pull up. So it looks like this. All right, I'll hold the bell. I feel tension in my hamstrings. I'm pulling my shoulder blades back, and I'll show you both angles. And then I'm going to push my feet through the ground, squeeze my hips, or squeeze my glutes, and pop the bell up. So it's 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. Let me show you from the side. The setup is important. Have a flat back. My butt's kind of high. You don't want to be rounded. Everything's going to be tight. And then make it more dynamic. Snap and down. So 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. I'm counting to 3 so that you see that I'm controlling the movement of the bell back to the ground instead of just sort of back to the ground. Number 4, a box step up. If you don't have a box, like a plyo box, you can use something that won't move, a bench, a front step, a stair step in your house, an ottoman that's steady and secure. Be careful, don't just step on a random chair and fall. So find something upon which you can step. And hold a weight if you can. Doesn't matter what weight it is, start conservatively. But you'll step up and back down. Switch, step up and back down. As you get stronger week to week and this movement comes back into rotation, try doing a heavier weight. Okay, that's good. Number 5 is a push-up. So if you are strong enough, we'll do plank push-up on the ground. Okay, if you're not quite there yet, you can put your knees down like this, or you can use something that's elevated, like a bench or chair. Squeeze your glutes and press. Don't overdo it at first if you're not used to doing push-ups. You don't want to have your pecs so sore and miserable that you can't do normal life stuff. You can reduce the reps. You do not have to do 10 until you're strong enough, or modify the type of movement. If you are really good at push-ups, feel free to add more and push yourself that way. Okay, last but not least is another great movement called a hip thruster. It is better if you can find a bench or an ottoman or a couch to lift your shoulders off the ground. The weight you use can be varied. I have done these hip thrusters with a kettlebell. I've done them with a weight plate because we have a barbell set. You can use like a sandbag or like a weighted slam ball, whatever you have at your disposal. So today I'll just show the movement with a 25-pound kettlebell. Getting into position can be a little awkward, so be careful. You want to carefully hold the weight, scoot down so that your shoulders and your head are resting, and then I found that the weight does best sort of by my pubic bone, but sometimes you can do it lower too, into your lap. So you're going to lower your hips, squeeze up, and I like to do a 1 Mississippi hold. Lower your bottom, squeeze up, 1 Mississippi, and like that. So you won't maybe feel these at first, but after a few reps, you definitely will. So just be careful getting in and out of that movement. Your warm-up and your cool-down can be personal choice, although I've given you some options in the app with some videos to follow. If you have any questions, let me know. Otherwise, enjoy and get strong.